Welcome to another episode of your favorite talk show, Stephen Korean Perspectives. I'm your host, Stephen Alexander.
And I'm your host, Korean Harris.
And in today's episode, we have Victor Phelps from Student Life and Engagement with us. We also have APSU student Arthur Coefield here to talk with us about him starting his own clothing line.
In today's topic, Stephen and I will discuss the difference between knowing your purpose and your calling. Do you know the difference?
That's a good question, isn't it?
We're going to get right into that.
That's right. So you guys stay tuned with us. You're watching SKP.
SKP, Stephen Korean Perspectives. SKP, Stephen Korean Perspectives. Are you ready for this?
Many of us understand our passions throughout life. Oftentimes we juggle when it pertains to knowing the difference between our calling and our purpose. So Stephen, what would you say the difference is between the two?
First and foremost, let me just say a calling is the gift to your purpose. And follow me when I say this.
Okay.
So for me, my calling, I feel like my calling is to communicate, to lead, to teach, tether. You know what that word means?
Tell our viewers for those who don't know.
So tether is pretty much be the chain to bring people together. That's a better term for it, but you can Google that on your own time. I don't have time for that. But entertain. So through that, I feel like with me being able to communicate, me being able to speak with people and bring people together, because we're living in times where no one can really communicate, no one's seeing eye to eye, but we have to kind of realize that we are here to love one another. And we have to communicate that. And so through that, I want to be able to lead. That's a part of me wanting to be a broadcaster. I don't want to just be on television just because, my hair is big and full and curly and my teeth are just big. That's not why I want to be on TV. I want to help people. And then I want to entertain people with that. And then through my purpose, I feel like my purpose is to be an example for those who have no example to follow. So what that means is some people don't have anybody at home to look up to. I would love to be the person that maybe just a glimpse of me they can take with them, and they can use that glimpse of me for themselves, to better themselves as they further themselves in their careers or whatever endeavors they have. And with education, be an example of what love feels and looks like.
And what do you mean by that?
So sometimes we have this idea of what love should be. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like we need to go surface deep inside of us, because sometimes we might love on the outside, appear to love, but deep down it's ugly. So I want us to really understand what it means to love inside, because when you love inside of yourself, you can give love to somebody else. So I want to be able to do that, and I feel like that's my purpose.
And I think some people actually struggle with that, and it can be because of what people went through in their past. People will say, I love you, but it's like you don't show it. And it can be because you don't have something deep down inside you that don't happen and that you never let go of yet. So that's a good point.
And I would say with also love, I'd rather someone tell me the truth. I can respect that, if you get what I'm saying. Because when you talk about love, and someone can say, I hate you. I can respect that. I can feed you on a long handle, but I can respect you better because you're being honest with me.
Exactly.
And then last thing, I want to transpire. Bring positivity through obstacles that may occur in my life. So through that, I want to be the example. If something bad happens in my life, I want people to see me through, okay, how is Stephen dealing with that? And maybe I can deal with it similar to how he's dealing with it.
And that actually was going to bring me to my point, which telling people about their purpose is tell your story. But before I get into telling you the difference between knowing your purpose and calling, you have to understand what is purpose and what is calling. Because people tell you all the time, go ahead and do it. It can be tie your shoe, sweetie, tie your shoe. But, okay, you're not telling me how to tie my shoe. So you know what? I'm going to break it down for you guys. So if you don't know what purpose is, if you don't know what calling is, I'm going to tell you the difference today. You in for class on SKP. Okay, so first, everyone is created for a purpose. And to accomplish your purpose is to do your calling for which you are told to do. Calling is the road you take to get to your purpose. Taking you back. So
what would you call to get this? Did you call your pastor to get this?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I call my knowledge up here.
Oh, okay.
And purpose is the destination. And some of us will have the same destinations, but we will have different roads to get to that destination.
That's true.
Because some of your purpose that you have, I have the same purpose, but we are going to
roads.
Yeah, we have different roads. No one road is going to be the same.
And you know, I had a cousin that once told me, she always said, you want to keep going this way. She was going straight. I'm trying to go this way. I don't know which camera we're looking at.
Exactly.
But go this way.
You're gonna hit You're gonna hit them.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit them. You just got to keep going like
keep straight.
Just go around the curve. And so I have thought of 3 ways that you can find your purpose. First, turn your pain that you deal with into helping others. Second, listen to what other people appreciate about you. And 3, tell your story, because you can always help someone through your story. And then when people give you advice or tell you what you're good at, have you ever thought about that's your calling? Like some people may say, you are good at talking to people. Hey, you may need to be a spokesperson. You may be good at motivating people. And turn your pain that you deal with helping others. Another person's pain can lead to someone else's purpose.
That's right. It really could.
And when it comes to how to find your calling, got 3 things for you. Say yes to the things that intrigue you, okay? Don't do what other people want you to do. It's what you want to do at the end of the day.
So
do not follow someone else's dream, because you cannot please everybody.
Right. You can't. And a lot of people don't know how to follow their own dreams and paths because they have no ambition and goals for themselves. So they want you to live through their dream. And if they have nowhere to go, then what are you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'm going to talk about is blend your talents. Do things that makes you triple threat, meaning you have more than one skill.
All right.
So you guys, we must take a commercial break. Coming up, we'll have Victor Phelps from Student Life and Engagement here with us. Stay tuned. You're watching SKP.
You can help support Austin Peay students who don't have enough to eat by donating to the Save Our Students Food Pantry. The Save Our Students Food Pantry is looking for soup, pasta, canned meat, canned beans, peanut butter, and fruit. You can drop off your donations at the food pantry on Home Avenue. It's open Tuesdays through Friday, 8:30 until 4. For more information, call 221-1620, a campus reminder from Austin Peay.
I'm from Clarksville, Tennessee. Fort Knox, Kentucky. Jackson, Tennessee.
Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Gaffney, South Carolina.
Seattle, Washington.
Jeremy, Haiti.
I'm from Três Pontas, Brazil.
Chicago, Illinois.
Hawaii.
Phoenix, Arizona. Braselton, Georgia.
From Modesto, California. I want to be a neonatal nurse.
An athletic trainer and accountant.
Playing the NFL.
Interior designer. Physical therapist.
Law enforcement officer.
Ultrasound technician. Social worker.
Physician.
Politician.
Psychologist.
CPA.
Your social worker.
Nurse practitioner.
Physical therapist.
Restaurant owner.
A politician. Start my own business. Veterinary.
Elementary school teacher.
The NBA player.
Cardiovascular surgeon.
Anesthesiologist.
Businesswoman in Nashville.
Social worker in Miami, Florida.
Politician in Washington, D.C.
Colorado.
Orlando, Florida. Houston, Texas.
In Chattanooga.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Seattle, Washington.
Nashville, Tennessee. San Diego, California.
Nashville, Tennessee.
New York City, New York.
San Diego, California.
Atlanta, Georgia. Nashville.
Los Angeles, California.
New York, New York.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Orlando, Florida.
Los Angeles, California.
Baltimore, Maryland. Clarksville, Tennessee.
Carolina Beach, Carolina.
Philadelphia.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Clarksville, Tennessee.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Stephen Alexander, alongside with my co-host, Korean Harris. Our guest today is no stranger to the show. He is here to discuss building unity within our university. We welcome back Victor Phelps to the show.
Thank you.
So again, we talked about this already. You've been here 3 times.
Sure,
Is there any reason for us to even introduce you anymore?
Not everybody knows who I am, so yeah.
Well, that leads me to my first question. Can you tell our viewers exactly what your job description is?
Sure. I'm the Associate Dean of Students and Director of Student Life and Engagement. So I work with a number of people who plan events on campus to enhance student life for students and sometimes faculty and staff.
Okay. So you're here today to talk about unity between faculty and students. So what makes this topic so important opposed to any other semester?
Yeah, I think this year, well, one thing we're doing differently this year, every spring we have a unity speaker. We bring in someone famous, semi-famous sometimes, to talk to the student population. This year, in addition to our speaker, we're having a week-long of events to bring students together that wouldn't normally come together or might not normally come together.
Right, right.
So what are some of the events that would be taking place to get faculty and students more involved together?
We're doing some fun things and we're doing some educational things. So one of the things we're doing is on Monday, March 11th, we're having what we're calling Unity Rocks event. And so we've got hundreds and hundreds of rocks, and we've got a tremendous amount of paint. And so we're going to have people just paint positive messages, encouraging messages, and then go place those somewhere on campus.
Wow.
So at some point, someone happens upon that and gets a positive message.
So what have you heard any outcomes from that, people painting the rocks? Have any students said that it's helped them in some kind of way?
We haven't done the event yet, but Health Services has actually done this event in the past, and they said it was very therapeutic for the people that were actually painting the rocks, and for the people that find it, they get real excited because some people are better artists than others, and so somebody found one that had the Browning building painted on it, and so it's really neat. So, so yeah, some positive outcomes from that.
That will be neat to find, because it's almost like you picking up a rock. You may be like, this was meant for me to see. It's almost like a fortune cookie. When you open a fortune cookie, I'm like, oh, I needed this today.
Right, yep.
So you and I spoke briefly about the Unity King and Queen competition.
Absolutely, yeah.
What exactly will be taking place in this competition?
Okay, so through March 11th through the 15th, student organizations can nominate someone for Unity King or Unity Queen, and they'll have opportunities to raise funds throughout the week for our local anti-suicide or our suicide prevention office here in Clarksville. So the man and the woman who raises the most money throughout the week becomes the Unity King and the Unity Queen. And just to show you what they get, the Queen's going to get this crown, and the King is going to get this crown.
Oh, wow, this is beautiful. Can we just say we're the King and the Queen now?
Well, you've got to raise money first. But at the end of the week, the Governor's baseball team plays Tennessee Tech, and we're having a big tailgate before that starting at 4:30, and we're announcing the King and the Queen at that event.
Okay.
We definitely have to be there.
We do have to be there with this.
Yeah, can we give it to the King and the Queen?
We can make that happen, yeah.
But can we keep this?
Well,
and then they get a different.
We can get you a replica, maybe.
See, Victor's trying to tease us today. I see where we at. I see where we are.
Thank you for letting us wear the crown.
So what can participants expect from being a part of this? What can they expect?
I think a sense of camaraderie, a sense of I'm supporting a good cause, the anti-suicide, the suicide prevention, but also my friend could be the Queen, my friend could be the King. I'm going to give a couple extra dollars for a good cause so that they can get this honor.
Right. So we talked about suicide, and we know that's a very, very touchy topic. So why do you feel that this topic needs to be discussed?
In my role, I get all the police reports for the university, and so last semester, the number of students that either attempted suicide or the number of students that said that they wanted to harm themselves, in addition to one student completing suicide, really sent an alarm for me, and I thought that's something we need to address because we don't know how to talk to each other about suicide. We don't know how to tell someone, I'm thinking about this. We don't know how to ask our friends, are you okay? Is there something we need to talk about? We're not comfortable doing that. So we want to talk about it and teach students and others, here's how you look for warning signs. Here's how you can approach someone that you might have concerns about.
Right, right.
And there will also be a Unity speaker pertaining to suicide awareness,
Absolutely.
correct?
We're very fortunate to get Kevin Hines.
Okay.
He is the only human to ever jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and live.
Wow.
And he talks about when he going to the bridge, what was going through his mind. He saw a woman, he was sure she was going to try to stop him, and she just kept on walking. What he was thinking when he took the step off the bridge, and what he was thinking when he was underwater. And so it's going to be a very powerful presentation. And that's Thursday, March 14th at 7 p.m. in Clement Auditorium.
Okay, okay. I just want to know for you, like, have you ever encountered a student personally who's come up to you and talked about those issues? And like, how did you handle it? Because I just want to have this message for our faculty so they know how to handle that if something happens to them where they have to handle it right away.
Sure, I haven't had a student directly tell me they wanted to harm themselves, but I have had students that have been upset because their friends have committed suicide. And so what I did was listen to what the person had to say. Then I asked the person, are you okay? You know, how are you feeling about this? So we talked about that person's feelings, and then I referred them to our counseling services over in the ARD building if they felt like they needed to go talk to someone further about that.
Right, right.
And the counseling services are free to students, correct?
Free and confidential.
Okay,
And no appointment necessary.
Right.
Right. So where can they go to get the counseling? Where is it located?
It's in the ARD building, which is right across the street, right across College Street from the Browning building, right there on the corner there.
Okay. And we have one more question for you before you leave. So lastly, what advice would you give just people in general, students, our viewers, when it pertains to suicide? Like, how can, if they have the thought, what should they do? Should they talk about it? How should they deal with it? Because it's such
I think it depends on the individual. I think whoever they're most comfortable talking to, whether that's a best friend, whether that's a parent, whether that is a pastor, or just an instructor. A lot of times I think some people don't want to tell their close friends because they're embarrassed. And so telling someone they don't know that well could be the avenue that gets them to where they need to be so they're not having those thoughts any longer.
That's true.
That's some good advice that you gave us.
It is.
Well, you guys, we must take a commercial break, but when we return, we will have Arthur Coefield with us. So stay tuned. You're watching SKP.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
I'm from Clarksville, Tennessee. Fort Knox, Kentucky. Jackson, Tennessee.
Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Gaffney, South Carolina.
Seattle, Washington.
Jeremy, Haiti.
I'm from Três Pontas, Brazil.
Chicago, Illinois.
Hawaii.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Brazelton, Georgia. From Modesto, California. I want to be a neonatal nurse.
An athletic trainer and accountant.
Playing the NFL.
Interior designer. Physical therapist.
Law enforcement officer.
Ultrasound technician. Social worker.
Physician.
Politician.
Psychologist.
CPA.
Your social worker,
nurse practitioner,
Physical therapist.
restaurant owner,
a politician, start my own business,
Veterinary.
elementary school teacher,
The NBA player.
Cardiovascular surgeon.
Anesthesiologist.
Businesswoman in Nashville.
social worker in Miami, Florida,
Politician in Washington, D.C.
Colorado.
Orlando, Florida. Houston, Texas.
in Chattanooga,
Memphis, Tennessee.
Seattle, Washington.
Nashville, Tennessee, San Diego, California,
Nashville, Tennessee.
New York City, New York.
San Diego, California.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Nashville,
Los Angeles, California.
New York, New York.
Memphis, Tennessee,
Nashville, Tennessee.
Orlando, Florida,
Los Angeles, California.
Baltimore, Maryland. Clarksville, Tennessee.
Carolina Beach, Carolina.
Philadelphia.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Clarksville, Tennessee.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Corinne Harris, alongside with my co-host, Stephen Alexander. We have student entrepreneur Arthur Coefield here to share how and why he started his own clothing business. How are you today?
I'm great. How y'all doing?
We're good.
Thank you for coming today.
Yes.
So can you tell us your year and major here at APSU?
Yeah, I'm a senior here. My major is leadership and organizational administration.
Okay. So do you like it?
I love it, man.
You love it?
Yeah. I had to switch from sociology to that because I wasn't too happy with it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So what made you switch?
Well, basically, I do plan on having an internship for Nike.
Mm-hmm.
So that field right there is helping me out a lot, and I plan on working in the HR department. So,
Right.
they've been helping me out a lot.
But we wish you the best of luck in
Thank
it.
you, thank you, thank
keeping
you.
a positive mindset.
Yeah.
It's like, I plan on working. That's how you do
That's
it.
right.
That's the plan,
That's
definitely.
right.
So what exactly inspired you to create your own clothing business?
I always see a lot of celebrities out, like they always telling, other people, you can do this, try this. And I was like, well, I always wanted to be a clothing designer. So why not listen to them, take that chance, take that risk and prosper. So I just decided to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the name of your clothing line is Perfect Timing.
Yeah.
How did you get this name?
It's a long story. So I was at work. I worked at Dillard's.
We used to work together.
We did.
Good old Dillard's.
Working at Dillard's, man. I came up with the logo. Like the bear is supposed to resemble me, basically. And then I said, well, it's perfect timing that I'm making this logo. So why not call it Perfect Timing then? And I just took off from there.
That is unique.
That is very unique.
People think of like some crazy ways like to have names, but it fits.
And it's smooth. It's like perfect time.
Perfect time.
You know what I'm saying? Like we should be your background singers. Perfect time.
Perfect time. Yeah. Even though I can't sing, we got you. We got you. We can do your intro song.
Right.
I appreciate it.
So what do you want your customers to take away from your clothing line when they wear your clothes?
Just be happy with it, just wear it proudly. I don't expect anything from anybody, just it's a clothing line, be happy,
So do you want them to like kind of feel confident when they wear it?
Yeah, I mean, hey, as I said, be happy. Be confident. I mean, I don't judge anyone.
Right.
I welcome anyone to wear it, definitely. So
right.
Just be,
when we wear our perfect timing t-shirt, we're gonna be like, this is a perfect time. This stuff is happening today, perfect time.
I wonder if he brought us some t-shirts. Did you bring us?
I brought y'all some gear, man. I brought y'all some gear.
Brought some t-shirts at least, Arthur. I mean, come on.
Perfect timing.
See, perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Oh my goodness.
That was yours. That was yours.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Definitely.
I cannot wait to wear this. Skinny jeans and boots.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
So where can our viewers purchase your t-shirts?
I have a website. It is called perfecttimingclothing.bigcartel.com. And I also do take, if you're in Clarksville, definitely I do deliver also. You can DM me on my Instagram. It's Perfect Timing Clothing, @PerfectTimingClothing.
Okay.
Yeah. You also have the hoodie. Can we purchase hoodies?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Hoodies are $35. Tees are $25. So,
Wow. So that's really good.
We want a hoodie too. We gotta get us some hoodies.
So what colors they come in?
This is black and yellow right now.
Okay,
I'm
black
working something up for the summer and the spring. So
Okay.
Be on the
Please
lookout.
let us know.
let us know.
And we're definitely going to pay y'all $35
Yes.
for a hoodie.
Okay,
You know, we're not looking for no handout. Hey, you got your own
Right.
business, just like we
Definitely.
have our own business. We support. We support
I
one.
appreciate
So
it.
back to the topic, because we was all off topic, all off. Okay. So earlier, Kareen and I discussed knowing the difference between your calling and your purpose.
Definitely.
So what would you say the difference is between for you?
Ooh, man. I say your calling is what are you gonna do for people, and that's what I always say. My calling is to make a change for people, and then my purpose is this clothing line. I feel like this clothing line. Yeah,
Right.
it was a blessing in disguise. You know, I've been doing pretty good with this. So
Right.
you know, I feel like this is my purpose, and I'm gonna continue to do it.
How long have you had this clothing line? That's what I
Man,
wanna know.
it started last summer.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was working at Dillard's.
Yes.
Yeah, it started that summer. So
Wow, so it's
Yeah.
transpired. It hasn't even been a
Definitely.
year yet.
Man,
Wow.
it's been crazy. Yeah, I've met so many people that I've never thought I would talk to a day in my life. Yeah.
That is good. Hopefully, you know, when you get that internship at Nike,
Yeah.
they'll want to put perfect timing on the shelf. I can see that Nike symbol right on it. Perfect timing.
Right.
You know, y'all can partner together.
Right. So I want to know, like, how did you find the time to be creative? Like, where? Because you're going to school.
Yeah.
At the time, you're working at Dillard's, and they were always working.
man.
You could say, "Work
Tell
me."
you, yeah.
So where did you find the time to even do it?
Man, I would be in my room. Just when I have nothing to do, I would be in my room just thinking of designs. I always had designs in my head, so it was already there. So it really wasn't, you know, it was just do it right then and there. You know,
Right.
The design was already there, so why not just go ahead and do it? And I had time, so
Right.
Yeah.
You make
Yeah.
time for what you want to make
That's
time
right.
for.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So what? And like, I want to know what ways has being a brand ambassador really, I guess, allowed you to step out of your comfort zone.
Definitely. Coming into this, you know, you have to be out of your comfort zone. You really do, because meeting different people. If you want your brand to be out there, you have to be out of your comfort zone. That's any way around that. So, man, it was hard, definitely, because I didn't want to talk to certain people, definitely. But I just got over that and just.
So did you push yourself, or did you have?
Yeah, I
family
did it
that kind
all. I did it all myself, really. My friends, they helped me out along the way. They did. They told me, you know, you have to start pushing it more, because I wasn't really about that at first, you know. So I had a friend. He told me, you know, Arthur, you need to push this brand. You know, get it out there. You know, take it to different cities. I'll promote it for you. You know, and then. Here we are.
Right.
And hey, perfect time. It's the perfect time for it.
Right.
So what would you say has been the most stressful process when creating your clothing line?
Ooh.
He said, "Ooh," you tell a lot of stress underneath that.
Man,
I'm scared of that.
I would say getting it out there, because, you know, some people, they'll tell you they want it and then they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Or when you do have events for people and then people don't show up or something like that, and you're trying to make sales, you have to make sales, you know, to get other products. So that's the hard part also. But other than that, everything else is great.
Right.
Yeah.
So recently you were at an event and you were with Tony. Well, no one knows who that is, but you were at their store.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us a little bit about the name of the store and what you guys were doing there?
It's a store called In Vinyl. It's my friend Tony Shroom. It's a record store, basically. We had a launch party there. I've had hoodies, tees. That's where I had my big event at. And then also we had local artists perform there also. It was a big event. It was pretty major.
Right.
I had artists from Clarksville, Memphis. I can't remember where the other guys were from, but it was pretty big, and we had a good time. Definitely. Yeah.
You know, I'm a little salty though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you and Tony, because I didn't get that invite.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm a little salty, but I'm gonna try to cool down. I'm gonna try to put some pepper on it to kind of level it out. Okay.
And Arthur, lastly, what advice can you give students who want to create their own brand but just don't know how to go about it?
Just go for it. That's what I say. You know, a lot of people give excuses on what they can't do.
That's true.
And I just stopped doing that and just went for it. Don't give up. Also, you know, you're gonna have that moment where you are a designer and you're gonna be broke some points in your life.
Yeah.
Don't give up though. That just happens, and the fashion industry, definitely. So
just keep
going
pushing and moving,
hard,
right?
yeah, go hard.
Right.
Well, we thank you for coming today and giving our viewers some good information. Guys, thanks for tuning in today for your favorite talk show, SKP. You can tune in every Thursday. If you have missed previous episodes, you can always watch them on YouTube under APSU-TV/SKP.
That's right. And see you guys next week with more news and entertainment. And
Always.
I forgot, we're on spring break next week, so we'll see you the week after that, okay?
We sure will.
Yes, and always remember to,
Let's go Peay.